Next question. The Dolce company purchases raw material on the terms 2 by 10 net 30. It means that the credit period is 30 days, and if the customer is making payment within 10 days, then customer will be given cash discount at the rate of 2%. A review of the company's record by owner Mr. Gautam revealed that payments are usually made 15 days after the purchases are made. So we are making the payment usually after 15 days. When asked why firm did not take advantage of the discount, the accountant Mr. Rohit replied that it cost only 2% for these funds, whereas a bank loan would cost the company 12%. There are two questions provided to us. A question is, analyze what mistake is Rohit making? That is the first question. Second, if the firm could not borrow from the bank and was forced to resort to use trade credit funds, what suggestion might be made to Rohit that would reduce the annual interest cost and identify the same? I request you to go through the question and tell me answer of the A part of the question in the chat box. So friends, over here the question is providing the information that the company is having, that this Dolce company is having credit terms of 2 by 10 net 30. However, the payment is made say after 15 days. Of course, the 15 days is after 10 days. So basically, the company is not getting advantage of the discount. It has been given to us that say the owner made an inquiry that say why we are not taking the advantage of the discount. Owner made an inquiry. Accountant replied that if at all we take advantage of the discount, it is only 2% value, and as against that the rate of interest is 12%. So basically 2% is less than 12%, so we do not take advantage of the discount. That is what he replied. The question says that what is the mistake of like Mr. Rohit? We can say that Mr. Rohit is committing two mistakes. Mistake number one, Mr. Rohit is committing a mistake that say this is a wrong comparison. This is a wrong comparison. 2% advantages say available if at all you make payment early by a few number of days, and in comparison to that 12% is per annum rate of interest. So basically we understand that the 2% and 12%, both of them are not directly comparable. That is the first mistake which Mr. Rohit is making. The second mistake that Mr. Rohit is committing over here is what we understand is like this. Day 0 you purchase the goods. Day 10 is the day on which you can make the payment. However, you are making payment on 15th day. So we understand that by applying common sense, it must be paid out of business cash accrual. Out of business cash accrual. Day 30 is the credit period ends. Let us say that the invoice amount is 1 crore. Let us assume that invoice amount is 1 crore. Payment is made on 15th day, so you don't get advantage of the discount, and you have to pay at this point of time 1 crore. Suppose you would have delayed the payment till 30th day. Suppose you would have delayed the payment till 30th day. Even in that case, you would have paid 1 crore. So basically, the second mistake of Mr. Rohit is that he is making payment on 15th day, even though that is not the due date of the bill. Actually, the payment should be made on 30th day. That is, whatever the credit period which is offered to us, we must take maximum advantage of it. So basically, say we should have invested this amount for another 15 days period, and only after that so the payment should be made. So we will be able to earn some amount of the interest income in that case. Let us answer the second question, B question. In that, write down, I'm sorry, A question answer, write down. Mr. Rohit is making following mistakes. In that, write down 1. If cash discount advantage is availed, comma, in that case early payment is to be made by only a few number of days. Full stop. However, the rate of interest is on per annum basis. Full stop. Hence, both of them are not comparable. In bracket, write down 2% is not equal to 12%. Second point, so a second mistake. Company should delay payment so far possible. Full stop. A company can think of making early payment only if it will give an advantage of discount. Full stop. Making payment either on 15th day or 30th day will have no difference, comma, so payment should have been made on 30th day. Full stop. B part of the question. If the firm could not borrow from the bank and was forced to resort to use trade credit funds, what suggestion might be made to Rohit that would reduce the annual interest cost? Identify. That is a question. I want you to write answer for the question in the chat box. So friends, over here, what is the question? Let us understand the question. If the firm could not borrow from the bank. Now, when we read this information, it has a meaning that this 12% information is now withdrawn. That is the first thing. And was forced to resort to use trade credit funds. What does it mean? It has a meaning like this. Basically, what the company is doing, the company is purchasing raw material. It is getting it processed. It is selling to customer. From customer, it receives the payment. And whatever this amount that they receive is the only amount which is available for the purpose of making payment to the supplier. Information over here which has been given that say the company was forced to resort to use the trade credit funds, means the company does not have an option, the company does not have a choice but to make the payment to the supplier out of the business cash accrual only. We know that say from the business cash accrual, we have the earliest date on which we can make the payment as 15th. That is what we understand. What suggestion? So in this situation, what suggestion might be made to Rohit that would reduce the annual interest cost? So what suggestion do you make? See, presently what you are doing is you are making payment on 15th day. That is, soon after you get the payment from your customer, you make payment to the supplier. But that is not correct. What happens that say we will tell Mr. Rohit that say you do one thing, that say instead of making the payment on 15th day, you make the payment on 30th day. This is the suggestion that say we have to make. That is the first thing. That is the answer of this entire question. What suggestion? Suggestion is that say you should delay the payment on 30th day. What will happen if at all that is company is doing like this? In that case, the interest cost will reduce. In that case, the interest cost will reduce. How much? That is asked to us in the second part of the question. Whatever the suggestion that you give, that is going to reduce the interest cost. So that you are required to quantify in the second part of the question. So I request all of you to write an answer along with me. Answer for the B part of the question. Dolce company is suggested to make payment on 30th day. So this is end of the answer. So what suggestion? This is a suggestion. Now I am dictating further answer to you for your understanding purpose. Head on with paragraph. We have been given that, head on A. Company cannot borrow. B. Company relies only on business cash accrual for making payment to supplier. In bracket I am writing use of trade credit funds. With paragraph write down. In this situation, comma, we will suggest the company to delay payment from 15th to 30th day. Because making payment on 10th day is not possible. Full stop. It is not possible because of both the reasons. Neither the company has funds nor it is able to borrow. That is the reason. So this is the answer from examination point of view, and this is the reason that I have dictated to you. With paragraph write down. If invoice amount is rupees 100, comma, annual interest cost can be found as under. So using invoice amount 100 rupees, we are calculating the annual interest cost, the present one and with the proposed one. I is equal to PRN upon 100. I is interest, that is 2. P is principal, 100 minus 2, into R divided by 100 into N divided by 365. So here we understand what is the situation right now and what is the situation proposed That is what say we are required to calculate. So in 15 days, that is the present system. In N 30 days, that is the proposed system. So 2 is equal to 98 into R upon 100 into 15 minus 10 divided by 365. So R is equal to 2 upon 98 into 100 into 365 divided by 5. That is the way the answer is calculated. 2 into 100 into 365 upon 98 upon 5. So present annual interest cost is 148.98%. In case of the proposed, it is 2 is equal to 98 into R upon 100 into 30 minus 10 divided by 365. So what will happen? R is equal to 2 upon 98 into 100 into 365 divided by 20. So we understand it is 2 into 100 into 365 upon 98 upon 20. That comes to 37.24. So annual interest cost of not availing the cash discount will reduce substantially from 148.98% to 37.24%. So based on this, we understand that the annual interest cost of not availing the cash discount reduces from 148.98% to 37.24%. So that on with paragraph. Annual interest cost of not availing cash discount reduces from 148.98% to 37.24% with the suggestion. So we can tell to the management that say the suggestion that say we have given has said this advantage to the company. A small summary of the entire answer. The question is providing the information that say we are purchasing the goods on the terms of 2 by 10 net 30. We are making the payment usually after 15 days. The question says that say what kind of mistake that accountant is making. If at all he is making a comparison of the 2% cash discount rate directly with the 12% rate of interest. Then we have answered that say there are two mistakes. That 2% discount advantage is available if at all you make early payment by a few number of days. In comparison to that, the 12% is the per annum rate of interest. So basically both of them are not directly comparable. That is the first point, first mistake. The second mistake is that say making payment on 15th day does not give any advantage to you. If at all the credit period is 30 days provided to us, we should take the advantage of the entire credit period and we should not make early payment to the supplier. Later on, we already have seen that the advantage of not availing the cash discount is very expensive if at all we make payment on 15th day instead of 30th day. In B part of the question, the answer is expected in a specific situation. 1. the company is not able to borrow. Second, the company has only the cash received in form of the collection from the supplier for making, collection from the customer for making payment to supplier. In that case, what is your suggestion? Suggestion is simple. You have to delay the payment to 30th day instead of making payment on 15th day, because making payment on 10th day is not possible. It is not possible because of both the reason. One, you are not able to borrow, and second, you have the earliest cash received from the trade credit funds on 15th day. So this is the suggestion that we have made, and based on the suggestion we have calculated the annualized cost. Right now it is 148.98%. Later on it is 37.24%. This is the way we write answer.